Right now, I'm going to teach you a meditation for anxiety worry settling exercise. That's only 2 minutes, so you can finally stop stress and anxiety and take control of your life. This meditation for anxiety technique is the 5th of 7 in this week's series. It's super simple and you will know how well it works for you straight away. After the 2-minute meditation for anxiety, I'll also outline how to worry less, sleep better, and guide you in integrating everything you learned today in a special finale exercise. I'm Speed Psychologist and best-selling author Aleks George, and we're now in session. First, give yourself a current mood rating, 1 being very low to 10 being very high mood, and a second 1 being very low to 10 being very high stress/anxiety rating. Just go with whatever mood number or stress anxiety number that first comes to mind. Now, I need you to promise me that I will have your full attention and best effort for just 2 minutes, okay? If you are sure that you can do that right now, then get ready. Also, please note, make sure you are in a safe place, and if you feel unusually uncomfortable during any exercise, stop immediately and go have a drink of water. So, are you ready? Really? To feel better? Just 2 minutes from now. You sure? Great. Let's begin. Sit up tall, shoulders back, head up, and close or shield your eyes if safe to do so. Now follow my simple instructions. Bring all your attention to wherever you sense worry. All of it. Fully focus on this worrying place. See the worry, hear the worry, feel the worry. Do not hide from the ride. Really experience it. You don't have to change it. Simply notice, focus, and let go of everything else. Like leaves floating down a river, or clouds evaporating as they pass by. Allow your thoughts and any other feelings to rise and recede, to come and go in their own time. Do not be sorry about your worry. Its intent to protect is correct. Do not distract or deflect, but respect and reflect now on its meaning. Is there a solution, or must you accept there is no resolution? Either way, you know what to do. Stop the suspicion and trust your intuition to guide you now to either let go, get help, or step up and solve it soon. Respect and reflect. Respect and reflect. Inspect and connect to what you know to be true, and it will all ease. That's right. That's right. That's it. We're done. Simple, right? Easy, hey? Feeling better? I'm sure. Really, check in now and review if your mood and stress anxiety scores have improved. If you gave me your full attention and best effort, then I bet they have. How much did they improve? 10%? 20? 30? 50? Or more? And in just 2 minutes? If your scores didn't improve, that's okay. You may just need a few more repetitions, or may find it easier to benefit from a different 2-minute brain exercise. I will release 7 related meditations over the week, and they're always just a couple of minutes. Each exercise builds on the last, and they become easier to do and more effective as you get used to them. Here's a quick former client quote of the day. Meeting Alex was a life-changing experience. He totally changed the way I was thinking about reducing stress and feelings of overwhelm. I practice his form of mindfulness for brief periods repeatedly through the day, and it has totally changed the way I am. I am so much happier and calmer than I used to be. Thank you, Adrian. Before we move on, I want you to really consider how your life could be better by consistently using these kinds of exercises. What would it be like to be in control and unaffected rather than being controlled by the news and social media, work bullies, and negative people? What would it feel like to have greater peace of mind and focus so you can perform at your best and feel good about who you are and what you do? In a moment, I'm going to answer 1 or 2 modern psychology questions from the community. To connect with me and the community, just go to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. You can, of course, like, rate, subscribe, and follow me on this channel, but to enjoy free giveaways like my best-selling books and programs, which are only available to subscribers through the website, and to personally ask me and get an answer to your own important psychology question, it must be through my free-to-join email list. Questions like, is there such a thing as life purpose? And if so, how does one find their own? What can I do to not take my work and my work anxiety home with me? And why do you think there is such an increase in mental health issues in both children and adults nowadays? All of these topics I will address in future sessions. The only way you will be able to ask me your question is by reply emailing me once you're on the list. The sooner you join, the more bonus goodies you'll get, like early access benefits to the 2-Minute Brain app currently in development that takes exercises like the one you just experienced and connects them sequentially with others into fantastic brain-flowing peak performance experiences. It will allow you to become your own mental health and peak performance DJ. Sound good? Really good? Almost too good? Then go sign up now and get all the latest updates from the 2minutebrain.com email list. Okay, riddle me this, Bat Psych. How is a psychologist different to a psychiatrist? Is this an actual real question this time? It's a good question. I better ask my psychiatrist. Isn't it funny how people say, my psychiatrist, my psychologist? You don't own me. I'm a person like you, aren't I? If you cut me off, do I not bleed? Anyway, I'm going to answer that very quickly. So psychologist usually has much more training in therapy. Psychiatrist has some training in therapy, usually not quite as much, and is a medical doctor specializing in mental health disorders and medication for that. Okay, how to worry less is the actual question for today. So the first thing is worry is future focused. So we consider what may happen in the future and we worry about it. Therefore, learning to be more present focused more of the time will create less worry, assuming you are in a safe place, that is, which we are. 99.999% of the time we're in a safe place. We're not out in the jungle, we're not getting chased. So not to discredit the awfulness of such a situation as being somewhere really scary and bad, like a war zone. But even in a war zone, there are times where you'll be in a safe place, right? And that'll actually be the majority of the time, right? The majority of the time when people are in a war zone, they are still in a safe place in that moment, right? So not that I'm saying that it's easy to be in such a thing. The simplest way to worry less is to have less in your life to worry about. The more you own, the more they own you. The more you care about what you have, the more you will worry about it. I like some of the things I own, but I don't really care about it. Like if I was to lose some of my favorite clothes or books or equipment, it'd be annoying and costly, but I wouldn't really care, and therefore I don't really worry about it. Okay. Now, of course, there's also worry about our key relationships. Now, here is the antidote to worry, and that is kindness with boundaries. As long as you know where you're acting towards others, how you're acting towards others, and it's being as kind as possible, whilst maintaining your own standards of safety. So only engaging with others that engage you with a sense of respect, then the confidence of knowing this should overcome the majority of any such worry. So kindness and assertiveness are antidotes to worry. Okay, being kind to others means that you know you're doing the right thing, even if they disagree, and making sure that you set your boundaries and you're firm about them. Now, I'm sure I'll discuss kindness and assertiveness more in the future. So, some people won't like you, and you have to ask yourself if their dislike is justified, and if so, then work to change it. And if it's not, then you have to remember this: what people say about others is much more a reflection of them than of the target, than of the people they're targeting. So if you're dealing with unkind people, set appropriate boundaries and then go and do other things you enjoy. If you find that difficult, learning present focused meditations, which is what we do often here, like the one at the start of this session and all the other sessions, will help with that. Want to ask me your own question? Just go over to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. At the moment, I'm personally answering people's questions pretty quickly, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on this channel. I'm happy to answer questions on mental health, such as stress, anxiety, mood, painful events, happiness, work-life performance, relationships, intimate, family, friends, kids, and of course the state of the world and why we do what we do. Before we continue, I want to explain what 2 Minute Brain is all about, because it's both as simple and not as simple as it seems. The first and most obvious goal is to offer the fastest and most practical methods to reduce mental health struggles and reach peak performance, so you can meet the demands of this often overwhelming and ultra-competitive modern world. The sad truth is, you do have to learn how to consistently be at your best, or you will be left behind. That's what these speed brain rewiring strategies are all about. These are the essential skills, but that's only the part of the iceberg that's above the surface. The second, much deeper goal is about members of this community reaching their highest forms of self-expression. Here, we are no longer talking about peak performance, but peak freedom. Good living is not just about productively functioning well. It's about wrestling with complex moral issues, paradoxical laws of nature, human contradiction, and seeking profound and immeasurable truths. This is where we dive deeply into the murky depths of existence and seek to free our self-expression. And in true 2 Minute Brain style, I'll also explore these topics just a couple minutes at a time via an impassioned monologue. So stick around if you want to spread your arms wide, crank up Celine Dion to volume 11, and safely explore rather than crash into the iceberg that is human consciousness and potential. But first, another riddle for Bat Psych. Can psychologists read minds? Good question. I better ask my psychiatrist. My psychiatrist, yes, he says, yes, you can, but only if there's one to read. Anyway, let's get to the real question. So the question is how to sleep better. So first thing to consider is what's called sleep hygiene, which is things like you want to try and avoid coffee late in the day. You want to reduce any blue light in the evening, so computers, gadgets, all that sort of stuff, to phones, you want to sort of reduce any use of that. You want to have a wind down routine before bed as well. So anything that you can do about an hour before bed where you're just winding down, maybe a little bit of reading under low lamp light, something like that, or maybe some stretching or something that settles you, calms you, meditating, and then going to bed is a good idea. The key one here is the lock-up time. The wake-up time, sorry. You want to lock in a wake-up time, right? So in order to lock in a wake-up time, so the only thing you can control when it comes to fixing your sleep is when you wake up. So you want to set the same time every day of when to wake up. And then you want to go backwards in terms of how to fix it. So for example, let's say you say 7 o'clock, I'm going to wake up every day at 7 o'clock. And then you only go to bed when you're sleepy. So the first night, you may not go to bed till 3 a.m. That's fine. Go to bed 3 to 7, stay up the next day, do whatever you have to do, and then maybe the next day you might be tired not until 2:45 or 2:30. That's fine. And so slowly you can work your way back towards getting enough sleep, whether that's 7-8 hours is usually the recommendation. So if you are in bed and you're not falling asleep, you want to wait for
no more than 20 minutes. If you can't sleep after 20 minutes, you want to get up and do something boring, or something that's going to let you to sleep. So nothing too active, something like cleaning under low lamplight or reading. These are all kind of key things to do. Also, avoid alcohol before bed, usually in the afternoon and evening before bed most of the time, because alcohol is a tranquilizer. It knocks you out, but it's not the right sleep. It's not the sleep you need. It's a tranquilizing sleep as opposed to natural sleep. Of course, there are gadgets out there all the time these days that can guide you, but not everything is about monitoring your sleep. And obviously you want to try and get enough REM sleep. But once again, so monitors can sort of help you sort of gauge that. But what's missing in most people's lives right now is that you need to make sleep a sacred part of life, a beautiful part of life. See, a lot of people find sleep annoying. It's like this thing they have to do. I just want to get it out of the way, and they fight against it. And what they're doing is they're stealing from themselves the ability of the unconscious mind, the ability of dreams, the ability of learning from what can happen with good sleep. Because good sleep not only restores you and allows you to have more energy and so forth, but it actually feeds your creativity. It feeds your ability to figure things out, to know things. So you want to make sleep a beautiful, a sacred part of life, something you want to do and enjoy. That's where a routine beforehand can help, as opposed to something I've just got to do. I've just got to tick off enough hours. That's not the way to perceive or to think about sleep. You can also do a positive visualization or a meditation before bed. Create a pleasurable scene in your mind and positive expectations to solve life problems through the night, because that's what sleep does. You trust in your unconscious mind, and often it'll encourage positive dreams and dreams where you solve problems that later you wake up and you actually solve them. So, some of the greatest scientific breakthroughs arrived first in people's dreams. Einstein and relativity, riding on a beam of light. There's numerous examples of this. The artist Salvador Dali used to use dream states to create his incredible art. He sort of hold a bell, and sort of as he falls asleep, the bell would ring, and in that dream state, he could create these wonderful things. So some people even maybe experience even predictive dreams. Now, I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know, but I think it's fun to think about. And fun. That's the point. Sleep should be a fun and exploratory part of life.
We're nearing the end of today's session. Soon, I will summarize it all and get you focused on using what you have found most helpful in one final, fun and fast meditative exercise. But before the finale, it's time for today's 2-minute monologue, which usually consists of a metaphorical poetic performance where I often intentionally don't give clear advice or answers, that will hopefully stimulate you to also explore and find your own deeper truths within and greater self-expressive courage. It's our 5th Light and Dark Thursday. Today's brief poetic monologue is titled "The Shadow Always Remains" and outlines an alternative to the folly of seeking perfectionism and attempting sainthood. The shadow always remains. Perfectionism and attempting sainthood. No matter how fast you run or how hard you fight, your shadow is always there. I have run so hard that I was almost gliding, and there it glided beside me. I tried to escape on a bullet train, and it barreled along too. I flew a jet towards the heavens and directly towards the sun, and it remained on each cloud. I even once traveled at the speed of light, but the shadow remained right there at the speed of dark, coasting along. One day, I got sick of running. I decided it was time to fight, to destroy it once and for all. I harnessed godly strength and drove my fist into the earth. The rocks split and the earth trembled, but the shadow remained. I summoned a tsunami to wash it away, tornadoes to blow it off, lightning to strike it down, all to no avail. I dug towards the core of the earth and drenched it with ancient lava. I dug even further down into the heart of the core, where it is brightest, where there is nothing but blinding and blazing fire, and shook it all free. There were countless eruptions and explosions. The night sky was as bright as day. I shifted the axis, straightened the tilt of the earth, now perfectly straight, adjusted gravity so I could float away from it, and not even for one moment did it ever leave me. I was defeated, collapsing into a ball and hugging my knees. It did the same thing. I gave in, all the way in. It swallowed me whole, engulfed me totally. And then, that was it. A stillness ensued. After an unknowable period, my shadow became restless. It suddenly tried to run away from me, but there I was. It tried to fight me off, but I remained unaffected. Eventually, it gave in, all the way in. My shadow realized it could not escape me. If you're having fun, make sure you like and subscribe and follow this channel, and also go to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. Now, let's bring all of it meaningfully together in an integrative exercise that will conclude today's session. Sit up tall, shoulders back, head up, and close or shield your eyes if safe to do so. Now listen and follow along closely. Respect and reflect. Whenever you need to, you can always respect and reflect. Respect and reflect. Inspect and connect to what you know to be true, and any worry will ease. Now consider what you learned today about how to worry less. Things like continually bringing your mind to and feeling your body in the safety of the present. Reducing and caring less about material objects. Kindly setting strong boundaries. Or something else. Also now consider what you learned today about how to sleep better. Things like only using the bed for sleep and intimacy, developing a consistent routine and sleeping hours, respecting the need for and creativity enhancing functions of sleep, or something else. Of all these things, what most struck a chord and feels right? Envision how you will use this now and in the future, and notice how you will have changed looking back on this moment and the next, all the way until you are where you wish to be. Finally, remember, we have faults, a dark side that cannot be escaped, but instead can be embraced. Seek to feel the life-affirming power that comes from such an acceptance. Allow all the lessons now to come together, to ripple through you, and now changed back out into the world. That's right. That's right. To connect with me and the community, just go to 2minutebrain.com and join the email list. You can, of course, like, rate, subscribe, and follow me on this channel, but to enjoy free giveaways like my best-selling books and programs, which are only available to subscribers through the website, and to personally ask me and get an answer to your own important psychology question, it must be through my free-to-join email list. Questions like, is there such a thing as life purpose? And if so, how does one find their own? What can I do to not take my work and my work anxiety home with me? And why do you think there is such an increase in mental health issues in both children and adults nowadays. All of these topics I will address in future sessions. The only way you will be able to ask me your question is by reply emailing me once you're on the list. The sooner you join, the more bonus goodies you'll get, like early access benefits to the 2-Minute Brain app currently in development that takes exercises like the one you just experienced and connects them sequentially with others into fantastic brain-flowing peak performance experiences. It will allow you to become your own mental health and peak performance DJ. Sound good? Really good? Almost too good? Then go sign up now and get all the latest updates from the 2minutebrain.com email list.
And I'll see you, all of you, whether you believe it yet or not, in our next session.